He said, when it comes to spiritual gifts, una self, una no small, una get this thing. But when you now go to Corinthians chapter 3, verse 1, now he was commending them that they walk in spiritual gifts. But when you now go to that same Corinthians chapter 3, verse 1, Paul now he spoke to the same people. He said, dear brothers and sisters, when I was with you, I couldn't talk to you as I would to spiritual people. He called them carnal, if you read KJV version. The same Paul who acknowledges that they were working in spiritual gifts, that they had enough, the same ones still call them carnal in chapter 3. Meaning that just because you work in the gift of the Spirit does not mean you are mature. Now, we call it gift. For instance, if you see a 9-year-old girl in a G-Wagon car, your normal wisdom will tell you that this car probably is not, the dad bought the car for her. That's a gift. So just because she has that car does not mean that she's matured enough. The reason she has that car is because somebody bought that car for her. So that's why we call it gifts of the Spirit. They are gifts. They are things that God gives as gifts. So just because somebody is operating in that gift of the Spirit does not mean that they are mature. Some people operate in the gift of the Spirit and they are not mature Christians. So another thing is that, see, if you also despise the gift of the Spirit by saying that, after all, it's not the pointer that I'm mature, there are certain things that you'll not be able to do for the kingdom of God. He said, all these spiritual gifts does not mean. Some people play down on the gift of the Spirit. What is here? They're just calling your name, just calling this one. Just because there are people who falsify the gift of the Spirit does not mean that there are no people who work genuinely in the gift of the Spirit. I usually say these things. There are people who call number, your phone number, this and that, and we call them false. Yes, some of them can be false, but there are people who call phone number who genuinely are of God. And the reason why God is calling that phone, God is using them to call that phone number, is not just because of the phone number. There is somewhere God is going to. So God is trying to catch the person's attention before he gets to the message that is trying to, point to them. So when we see people, for instance, in this country, you cannot see fake 2,000 naira. Do you know why? Because there is no original 2,000 naira. So you cannot see the fake of 2,000, but you can see the fake of 1,000. So the reason why we see fake of many of these prophetic things is because genuine one actually exists. The Bible says the last day that we'll see false prophets, meaning there are genuine prophets existing. So just because we say that the gift of the Spirit is not an indication that you're a mature Christian, does not also mean that you neglect it, because there are certain things you may not be able to carry on for God or do for His kingdom if you don't open yourself to walk in His gift of the Spirit.